I have another heartwarming story, and this was about like a customer. This one's like a heartwarming story though. This was again when I was waitering. There was this like old couple. There was this really old couple that would come in every like I don't know. I think like they would come in every Sunday or something. Like an old couple, yeah. And they would come in every Sunday or something like that, right? And it was like really genuinely kind of, I don't know, it was like one of those stories that just made you think about life, you know what I mean? So the old couple will come in. It was a very old elderly gentleman and the elderly, you know, husband and wife, right? They were very nice, they're very chill, they're very kind. I was back in the day, it's a little too soon to say back in the day, but back then, you know, I made sure to take care of them, you know, and they, I think they were satisfied, and I think they were satisfied. On the second or third time that this couple came in, the man was asking me very obviously the same questions. Very obviously asking the same questions, but still like trying to engage in small talk. And so I think you might understand by now. You might understand where this is going. But this individual, you know, in his elderly age, was a little forgetful, you know, and that is also why his kind wife was with him, and for me, it was an interesting experience because this was the first time that I had an experience in my life where that was the case. And for me, in from how I saw it, it really did kind of feel like a little bit of like a time slip, you know, like a time skip. And of course, I wasn't bothered by it, you know, and they weren't bothered by it. They were very kind and considerate, and they were always very kind to me, and they're always very great people. But what I noticed, what I found very interesting was, even though we had a same conversation, we had legitimately the same conversation every single time, with the same answers that I would answer when this person was curious, right? The same exact answers. There was always a different opportunity to learn more about the couple. And I think that really changed, like, I think that was another kind of, I don't know, that was another experience that changed my life. Like, not like, you know, concretely or crazily, but it was a really wild experience, you know, because I got to know more and more about this elderly gentleman in a way that was always respectful to his boundaries, and I got to learn much more about, you know, what his life has been like and what he has been doing, what he wanted to achieve, what he had achieved, and stuff like that. And every day it was a little bit, or every time it was a little bit of a new angle and a new perspective. And I thought that was cool. I thought that was cool. I also felt that it was a little sad too. It's these moments, I think it's these examples, it's these moments that you could just be anyone. You could be a person that, you know, just does their job and that's it. And that is totally fine. You know, you don't have to be invested in, you know, the old couple, for example. You don't have to be invested in, you know, the old couple, right? You don't have to ask the questions. You don't have to keep the conversation. You don't have to do any of these things. And nobody is going to be like really mean or annoying and annoyed by that, right? You're just working your job, right? But if you, I don't know, you just find a lot of like life, like perspective changing opportunities, you know? Yeah, and so that's kind of like what it's taught me, like whether it's been like, you know, talking to this elderly couple, how the wife feels about it, you know, how the husband is doing his best, but also, you know, has clearly uh, is forgetful. And whether it's like, hey, do you want to do this thing? And do you want to, like do this thing? Here's like the name, and here's the skyscraper, here's the elevator, and here's the job. It's just another opportunity, if you so choose to be more invested than most. That said, not everything is peaceful, and not everyone is kind. So, you gotta be using your best judgment too. Life is a roller coaster. And now Seinyang, I'm very, very proud to nyam for you, okay? This is my life. I'm very proud that I can nyam for you every day and any day, okay? This is what I wanted in life, okay? Like, to have a fulfilling life. I want you to know that. So if you can ever make it so that you just need to nyan for life, you should. Because it's infinitely more fun, to be honest. It is the best spice you could ever ask for. You know what I mean?